journal itself. As I'm going through the journal, I'm making notes on the more interesting parts, and there is no rhyme or reason to the order, to what's discussed versus what's discussed next. Consider it Lawson's stream of consciousness. He's just reporting things as he notices them in his travels. So it will seem random because it is random. Here we go. One night, Lawson said that they spent all night in a swampy area so cold they almost froze. And that stood out to me because we are so used to being very comfortable and never being in hardship and never lacking for anything. And these travelers had to sleep in a swamp? So cold they almost froze? Ugh. They were willing to pay a great price for what they wanted and needed to do. He recorded, "As we went up the river, we heard a great noise, as if two parties were engaged against each other, seeming exactly like small shot. When we approached nearer the place, we found it to be some Siwi Indians firing the Canes swamps, which drives out the game, then taking their particular stands, kill great quantities of both bear, deer, turkeys, and what wild creatures the parts afford." Now, there were some notes added into the journal here. The Siwis were probably the Siouan Indians, and they were estimated at a population of 800 back in 1600. But by 1715, there were only 57 of them left. And Lawson's description is all we have of them. Smallpox, many Indians, they were not resistant to that disease of the Englishmen. Indian doctors used roots, barks, berries, and nuts, and they strung them on a thread and hung them around their necks. So the Indian doctors literally carried around their forms of medicines with them. Lawson said the Indians were known sometimes to cure Englishmen of some things that other Englishmen didn't know how to help with. God having furnished every country with specific remedies for their particular diseases. I thought that was a really cool quote from him, that he recognized that God has provided different parts of the world with different things that they need in particular for them. Thanks so much. See you next time.